Welcome to Old Westbury's Got Talent, where we showcase what Old Westbury has to offer. I'm your host, Amanda. In studio, we have Brian Picard, who will be talking about life and doing some of his best impersonations. First, we'll ask him some questions about his impersonations and everything that he's accomplished. So, Brian, I hear you've done a documentary.
Yeah.
How did you get started doing that?
Yeah, the documentary was about 3 years ago. Tom Felton, who played Draco Malfoy in Harry Potter series, I have a lot of good relationships with a ton of A-list to, I guess, D-list celebrities. I won't mention the D-list celebrities. But, you know, and then, so Dan would see me all the time. He'd sign all my stuff. He'd take pictures with me. And, you know, this was off the Broadway run. And he was one of the several I've had good rapport with. And then Tom was trying to do this documentary. And at the time, Rupert was doing Broadway, too. So he's like, I know him, too. And so then Dan had said, Tom, you really should use him. He's really good. And so they called me from like a London number, and I'm like, well, who is this? I mean, I don't know anyone in London. And then they said, hey, would you like to do this documentary? So we went around the city meeting the stars. But how I got started into this was, you know, a couple of years ago, I saw Hugh Jackman walking down the street, and I'm like, wow, this is cool. And I realized you can meet all these people and see all these people at events. So, you know, as I see them from time to time, you know, like someone like, I don't know, like Ansel Elgort or Lin-Manuel Miranda, Ben Platt, all these people, I see them all the time. So, you know, why not build a good relationship with them? And someone I built a very good relationship recently is Charlie Walk, the CEO of Republic Records. So, you know, I try to build connections wherever I go. And, you know, going to meet the stars is really cool. And I've had so many things done about me and what I do, and it's fun, you know.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
Now you've done some books too.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about those?
Yeah, sure. I've written 2 books in 2014. They're short story books where, you know what it is, I didn't also write about my encounters with these celebrities or whatnot. I wrote about that too. But everyday life, it brings you a story, I feel. Whether that be on the street, whether you're at school, you meet people that are really interesting, and you're like, you know what, this could be a good small story idea. So my first book, I had 59 stories, and then the next one, like 40 stories.
Oh, wow.
I'm in the process of work on my next one, so every time I see people, you know, I'm like, hey, you're gonna be my next book, but then they're like, when's it coming out? It's soon. And yeah, so I have that, and then I'm working on a screenplay as we speak. So the goal for me by 40 is to have an Oscar.
Wow, you got a lot planned for yourself.
Yeah, so I mean, that's a goal for me. And you know, I'm working on it, and you know, every day I get inspired to keep on reading and writing, and then, you know, the screenplays, they change all the time. But now I kind of have like a set focus, and if I don't like the way it looks at the end, I'll just make another one. And keep on writing, and that's the goal for me.
That's really awesome.
Yeah.
Now, what everyone's been waiting for, your impersonations. What are some of your favorites?
My favorites? I love doing my Bruce Springsteen. Oh, yeah. I wrote Born to Run 75. I'm on Broadway right now. Oh, yeah. And I'm gonna do my friend Paul McCartney. You know, man, I went on tour recently, and I was on tour with the Beatles for a while, and, you know, we really didn't go too well over there, man. It was really bad. And then, you know, it was go right, but, you know, now I'm on my own, and, you know, I had the Wings in the 70s, man. It's really good. And now I have people coming to see me still. It's crazy. And, you know, I want to do another friend of mine. He's a good friend of mine, Billy Joe. Yeah, I'm a Long Island guy. You know, it's pretty good. I haven't written an album since 1993. River of Dreams album, I think that was the last one. I have a once a month gig at the Garden. I like it, and yeah, it's pretty good. And then I can also do Donald Trump too. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be huge. Thank you. I like to use words a lot. Yes, Melania, wherever you are, I love you. Not really. I have all the other girls back there, and yeah.
Well, I must say I'm impressed, and I guarantee you everyone else watching is impressed.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us in the studio today.
Thank you for having me.
Hi, baby. Patient love, it's Ringo here. Caitlin, that was a wonderful introduction. Thank you. Patient love. You know, I'm the reason why the Beatles broke up, really. It was really bad.
Hi guys, Lin-Manuel Miranda here. You might not know who I am, but I wrote Hamilton, the hit play. Did you guys hear? Oh, it's a musical, not that. That's my own work. I should really know that. Oh, it's Mickey. You really wrote Hamilton, Lynn? Yeah, that's right.
There's a new thing called inner beauty. Actually, it isn't anything new. Too many people are worrying about their appearances instead of what matters most, self-love. There are women who can relate to the feeling of emptiness when their weave is not installed. There's nothing wrong with showing that you're versatile through different looks. However, it becomes a problem when a person can't live without extensions and makeup. I believe it is important for ethnic women as a whole to embrace their truest form. Insecurities are prevalent more than ever on television, and there are many surgical procedures being done to celebrities to achieve a certain look. Today, I'm here with Kaimani, and we're going to talk about some of those pressures. Hi, how are you?
Hi, my name is Kimani.
So I wanted to ask you, have you ever had your hair permed before?
So for my 9th birthday, I got a perm, and it was a kid's perm just for me, but basically I was kind of pressured into getting a perm because most of the girls in my school, their hair was not like mine. Mine was still natural. You know, it had a little volume to it, and of course, it was a little bit coarse. So also seeing like music videos and a lot of, you know, media, like celebrities,
Yeah.
like people that you look up to with this nice Eurocentric look. So I asked my grandmother if it was okay for me to get a perm. So after getting that perm when I was 9 years old, it took me about 10 years to like get my hair back to its natural texture because I was back to back with perms, back to back to back to back with perms. So basically, when I got to 9th grade, I started wearing extensions, like I started wearing weaves. So it didn't really make sense for me to get perms in my hair because my hair was braided underneath the weave. So as I finished my high school career, I noticed like the changes in my hair, like how, strong it was, how healthy it became, and it was because I didn't use any, extras. So as I got to college, no perm at all. My hair is as healthy as it's ever been, and I'm in love with how I look now. So I feel like it's important to love your natural self before you add anything to it.
So during the time that you were getting all those perms, how did that really make you feel? How did that affect you?
It affected me tremendously because when you don't see any progress with your hair and in your look, then you can, start to develop some insecurities within yourself. You'll always be, unsatisfied because you're searching for a look that you can't really get because as ethnic women, we don't really have, Eurocentric hair. We don't have straight hair. We have different, hair textures from wavy to the tightest curl to the loosest curl. So I feel like it's important to embrace that.
So you're talking about how you think it's important. So why do you think it's so important?
I think it's important because we're so used to, having so much expectations on just women in general, like in the media. We're expected to look a certain way, to, dress a certain way, have our hair in a certain way, and if we don't, it doesn't matter if we're the smartest woman in the room. The media will, go straight into that problem and say, oh, well, her hair wasn't done. Who cares what she was saying? Her boob fell out. It doesn't really matter what, she's really, coming across and trying to say. So I feel like that's the main reason because women are so, we're so expected to look and, be a certain way.
And before we were talking about this earlier, and you were talking about how people should view their hair as their natural hair as their crown.
Their crown. Good morning, and welcome back to Old Westbury's Got Talent, where we showcase what Old Westbury students have to offer. I'm your host, Kimani. In the studio, we have Nigel Shelby, who will be reciting one of his favorite poems for us today. But first, we're gonna ask him a few questions. Nigel, what inspired you to write poetry?
What inspired me? I've been writing since I was a kid. A lot. I kind of stopped when I got back in high school. But what really inspired me is some of the rappers I listened to, like, Kendrick, and even back then, Tribe Called Quest, mix of 90s and now.
So, would you consider yourself a rapper or lyricist?
Lyricist. Not too keen on the word rapper. I don't like telling people, oh, I'm a rapper. Lyricist sounds more sophisticated and cooler.
Okay, so why do you feel that it's important for you to express yourself through writing?
Because to me, expressing myself through writing is the best way for me. Because I think of myself as a person who has a creative mind, and I can take that creative mind and put it down to paper, and something usually turns up good from that.
Okay, so like what are some of the topics that you talk about in your poetry?
Whatever's going on in my life, whether it be like heartbreak, tough times, happiness, I try to keep it real as possible.
So would you consider this an escape from your reality?
Not necessarily, because I'm still talking about reality in my writing, so yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you, Nigel.
Yeah, no problem.
Good morning, and welcome to Old Westbury's Got Talent, where we showcase what Old Westbury students have to offer. I'm your host, Ariel, and I'm in studio with Katie Tenenbaum, who will be playing ukulele for us. First, we'll ask her a few questions about her musical hobby. Hi, Katie, how are you?
Good.
So I have a couple questions for you.
Of course.
And the first being, how did you get started playing ukulele?
So my sister actually bought one before I did. She wanted one, whatever. So she got it, and she played, the Adventure Time theme song, which everyone knows.
Everybody has to learn it.
And she just stopped playing it. It's been in her closet for a few months. I asked her if I can play it. She said yeah. And so I just only know Hey Soul Sister by Train. That's like the basic song. And then I kept practicing, and then here I am.
Very cool.
Here I am.
So how many instruments do you play?
So I play ukulele, as you might have guessed.
Oh, maybe.
I play guitar, and I've been playing piano for a long time, but not as frequently as I do ukulele and guitar. But I also know a little bit of banjo.
That's really cool, actually. That's kind of
but
different, too.
I don't have it anymore, so I only know Rainbow Connection by the Muppets on banjo, and that was the only thing I learned.
Okay.
So yeah.
What's
I actually really want to learn how to play saxophone.
really saxophone?
Yeah,
That's kind of
I
in
love
left
that
field, but I
instrument.
like it.
Yeah, it's totally different from what I play now, but I just love the saxophone. I would love to learn.
This makes perfect.
Yep.
So what is your favorite song to play?
Well, I'm not going to play it today. I want to try and spread the variety that I have, but there's a song called Little Wonders by Rob Thomas.
Okay.
That was in Meet the Robinsons, a great Disney movie. I know how to play, well, my favorite is Follow You Into the Dark by Death Cab for Cutie. I also love to play, oh my gosh, I love so many songs. On guitar, I know how to play and love to play Mrs. Robinson,
Oh, nice.
which is great. So yeah.
Oh, sorry. I didn't
No,
mean to cut you
it's
off.
okay.
So what are some of your musical influences? I know you were talking about like Rob Thomas there.
Yeah,
Death Cab
yeah.
for Cutie, a little bit everywhere.
My favorite musical influence is David Cook. He won American Idol season 7, I believe, and his music is amazing. And I know how to play, I think, one song by him, but I love his voice. I love everything about him. Also, a good friend of mine, her name is Nico Patton. She's not as well known as the other artists, but her music is amazing. She just released an album a few months ago, and she's a dear friend of mine, so she has influenced me to keep playing and performing.
So what are you working on?
I'm actually in the process of trying to start an EP.
Okay.
So I don't know when that'll be out. I haven't started recording or anything, but I'm excited to share that and do some covers and maybe an original.
So how has music influenced your life overall?
Oh my gosh, I can't even begin to describe it. I actually have a musical tattoo of microphone stand, so singing and playing instruments means so much to me. I've been singing since 4th grade and picked up ukulele in high school and guitar in college, so just anything musical I love to do, and I love to share my voice with everyone.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you for your time, and I can't wait to hear you play.
Hello and welcome to Old Westbury's Got Talent. I'm Chris Black. We have another great musical performance with Katie Tenenbaum and David Klein performing their mashup of I Want You Back and I Want It That Way.
When I had you to myself, I didn't want you around. Those pretty faces always made you stand out in the crowd. But someone pulled you from the bunch when it was all it took. Now it's just too late for me to take a second look. Oh,
that's all we have for today. Thank you for watching. I'm Ariel.
I'm Kimani, and tune in next week to OW's Got Talent.